Welcome to the Irresistible You podcast. This is the place to get a dose of empowerment to create the life you crave and deserve. I'm your host, Amy Beltran, CEO and founder of Irresistible University. Irresistible University is an online learning community that I have created to help women lose the body image issues, gain confidence, and lose the emotional weight to look and feel irresistible at any size. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by my signature program, which is called, you guessed it, Irresistible You. Irresistible You is a 12-week online program that is also combined with weekly coaching calls with yours truly. And the program is based upon my 5 guiding principles of Irresistible You. Those 5 guiding principles are the things that I discovered through my own journey with being on the yo-yo diet, body hate, shame cycle. The things that I discovered were missing from my life and are missing from any traditional diet plan. And so I teach you how to incorporate these guiding principles into your life, how to work through the things that are blocking you, how to stop waiting for the weight, and how to finally lose the emotional weight that's holding you back. If you are ready to get started, if you want to enroll, let's get a head start on 2020. You can get more information on my website at irresistibleicing.com/course. The link is also included in the show notes so that you can take a look, including the link to enroll. Okay, let's get into the episode. How many bodies do you have? How many? I hope that you answered one, either out loud or in your head. But that's right, guys. We have one life to live, and we have one body to live this life in. And when you have been stuck on the yo-yo diet, body hate, shame cycle for years, for a lifetime, for however long it's been for you, it's really hard to understand that that is actually true. Because you're basing all of your life, all of your happiness, all of your moods, all of your emotions, every action in your life is based around how much you weigh and what you look like. And so to hear that you only have one body to do this in, I know that might sound crazy to you right now. Like logically, it's like, duh, we have one body. But I know for me in my journey, before I implemented my guiding principles and before I got into doing Irresistible You, everything for me was based in how much did I weigh, what size was I, and then that was like, okay, because I weigh this much and I haven't lost and I've gained back weight or whatever the case may be, that's going to dictate how I feel about myself. That's going to dictate whether I go to this party tonight. That's going to dictate whether I go to this party and I act like a bitch in the corner, not talking to anyone because I'm feeling sorry for myself, or whether I decide I'm going to be like this social butterfly who's like talking to everyone. And I lived my life like that for a very, very long time. And at that point in my life, when I was going through that in the deepest parts of it, there's no way I would have understood. I'm like, no, I don't have just one body. Like, I have the skinny body, and I have the fat body, and I have the in-between body. Let's be real, I never had the skinny body. Anyway, I had the obese body, the fat body, the curvy body, the a little bit chubby body, and like, that's how I used to see my body and my life. Everything was based around how much I weighed, what I could wear, what I couldn't wear. And for those of you that don't know my whole story, I have this epiphany that happened to me when I was looking at a picture one day, just randomly staring at this picture in my kitchen, and I looked at it and I went, oh my God, I just like had this moment where I go, oh my God, I can look at any picture from any year of my entire life, and I can tell you what I weighed, what I was feeling about my weight, what size I was, what diet I was on, and I was like, that's really sad. Like, that's really sad, because then, like, I started to connect it with, yeah, and I've also been basing my happiness around the fact that it was based all around weight and what I look like and all this kind of stuff. And so what I want to talk to you today is about the fact that we have one body, but we will have many different versions of that body throughout our lifetime. So I want you to understand the the difference in thinking that way is like you're going to do everything from the time you're born to your last day on earth in the same body. Whether that body is at 300 pounds, whether that body is at 200 pounds or 150 pounds, whatever you're doing, you're still doing it in the same body. And you're still doing it as the same person. You might just have different versions of your body depending on where you are in your journey, where you are in that season of life. Okay? And so that's what I want to talk about is how do we stop basing our happiness? How do we stop judging ourselves based on our weight and our size, knowing that we have a lot of things that are going to happen in life, a lot of experiences, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, and a lot of things in between. And to know that our bodies are going to fluctuate. We're going to have different versions of that body. And so we can't keep putting all of our eggs in one basket of, well, when I weigh this much, or when I look like this, or when I get this surgery, or when I have this size, well, then I'll be like an awesome person. Then I'll be a nice person. Then I'll have more friends. Then I'll have the best job. Then I'll have a different spouse. Then I'll have stop doing that. We have to stop doing that, because if you're putting all your eggs in one basket of the magic key is going to unlock this fantasy world because you weigh a certain number. So then what happens when you gain back 10 pounds? So then what happens when you age and your body changes? Then what happens when you get pregnant and you don't weigh that number? Do you see where I'm going with this? Because if you're only telling yourself, okay, if I am worthy, if I am awesome, if I am irresistible, if I am like the business at 145 pounds and that's the only number that's ever going to be acceptable to me, that means any other fluctuations or changes that happen to my body throughout my lifetime, they're not going to mean anything. Because when those things happen, nothing else in my life is going to matter because I'm not at that number. Do you understand the difference? So that is why you have to find a way. And I can teach you the way. I know the way, but you have to go down that path with me to learning how to love yourself and see your self-worth and feel confident regardless of what the number on the scale says. So whether you're on a weight loss journey, whether you're not on a weight loss journey, that doesn't matter. Because listen, your body is going to fluctuate. Just look at in a month, okay? Let's just small scale, look at a month in your weight. As a woman, our body weight fluctuates so much just in a week, just in a day. If you weigh yourself in the morning and you weigh yourself at night, there can be a really big difference in the number because of water retention and bloating and time of the month and period and all of that stuff. Your body just fluctuates. So if you are telling yourself, you know what, I am only the shit at 130 pounds. So then tonight when you weigh yourself and you've had a long day and your body is tired and you're exhausted and it's been hot outside and you're retaining sodium and water and you weigh 135, are you now like a low piece of shit person because of that? And you probably think that way, because I used to think that way. I remember a time where I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah, girl. I was like, yes, I like your outfit. You're looking good. Makeup is on point. Hair is on point. Yes, you are it today, okay? And I go downstairs, and I don't know why I did it, but I got on the scale before I was about to leave the house to go somewhere. And the scale was up from what I thought it was. And let me tell you, my entire mood, it was just look, take a balloon and put a pin in it, and it just I just deflated like a balloon. Because I just felt like, who do you think you are? Who did you think you were thinking you're cute, Miss Thing? You thought you were really cute looking in the mirror knowing you weigh that much, you fat ass? That's the thoughts that go through my head. That was the thought that went through my head. And so it was how dare you think that you look cute today? You really thought you did. Who do you think you are? You're delusional. These fat bitch, I call it the inner fat bitch. I start having these inner fat bitch conversations. The inner fat bitch is like the devil on your shoulder that keeps telling you you're not worth anything and you're gross and you're disgusting. And it's the stuff that you're telling yourself. And I've had a lot of days like that where I used to base how I was feeling on the number on the scale versus understanding that this is my body, okay? I am living my life through this body. This body might be obese. This body might be a little overweight. This body might be thin. This body might be a lot of different things in between. But I am still the same person. I am still living in the same body. It just might look a little bit different. And understanding that I can't get my happiness, my self-worth from a scale. Because let's say the scale is up 5 pounds. Do you really look any different? No. Does anybody else recognize that you look any different? No. But it's like this mental game that we play with ourselves thinking, oh my God, everybody's going to know I gained 5 pounds of water. Everybody's going to know I gained 5 pounds over the holidays. And like just these stories that we tell ourselves. And so also, weight is just one piece of it, because I want you to think about this. Even if you always have weighed the same number, if you weigh the same thing that you weighed at 25, and now let's say you're 45 and you weigh the same, you even wear the same size. Let's just be real and let's put this out here and recognize that your body is going to change. Your muscle tone changes. The texture of your skin changes, like hello wrinkles, hello age spots, like the way your skin feels changes. And you guys, I'm 38 and I've already noticed like my hair texture feels different. I'm like, what the F is this? Is this a sick joke? Like my hair feels different and it feels more dull. Like, is that like an age thing? And I looked it up and it is. So like your hair texture changes. And so all of these changes that we go through with our external self, our physical bodies, we're still going to have to live life in that body regardless of what it looks like, regardless of the weight, regardless of the age, regardless of the texture changes or whatever the hell else is going to happen along the way. These sick jokes that are played on us. Our bodies change. And also, pregnancy. Like if you are a mom and you are wanting to become a mom and you want to get pregnant and go through that experience, like your body is going to change through that. Your weight, it's going to go up because it's supposed to. It is supposed to go up because you have a human being inside of you growing. And that was another wake-up call for me too when I first found out I was pregnant, and I was just like, oh my God, like this was planned, but I don't want it to happen right now. I'm still on my weight loss journey. I thought it was going to happen later, and I had to get myself in check quick, and I had to start using my guiding principles quickly because I didn't want to pass that energy and that stress and that anxiety onto my daughter. And I will say honestly, like my pregnancy was one of the things that really taught me and cemented for me how much all of this is so important that I'm talking about. Because, yeah, girl, that scale was going up every week at the doctor's. Every week, okay? And I could either have allowed myself with all the hormones and all the changes to go into this deep, dark place that I've been in before, or I could embrace it, be grateful, and look at all the beautiful things that were happening that didn't have anything to do with gaining weight. And I was able to look at it like, well, I'm gaining weight because I'm growing this beautiful, healthy child. Okay? So understand that in different seasons of your life, whether it's pregnancy, whether it's age, whether it's anything like that, your body is going to change physically. It's just a part of life. And if you're not happy with yourself, who you are as a person, how are you going to live the rest of your life? Because every season is going to bring another reason. Oh, I just made that up. Right? Every season is going to bring another reason for you to come up with excuses and for you to come up with ideas and reasons why you're not good enough. And if you're basing all of your self-worth on your physical state, your physical body, and what you look like, you're never going to find peace and happiness doing that. So it's like self-love and confidence has to be the anchor of your life. It has to be. Because life can be amazing and beautiful and happy and fun and all of that, but it can also be sad and traumatic and things that happen that none of us want to have to deal with, things that none of us want to have to go through. But the one constant, the one anchor through all of the good, the bad, and the in-between, that has to be you and how you feel about yourself and how you look at yourself and how you think. And so if at the heart of you, your confidence is broken, you have no self-worth, you have no self-love, you're not going to be able to navigate all of these things in a way that is healthy, in a way that is emotionally healthy for you. Because if you are basing all of the ways that you feel about yourself on a number on the scale, what are you going to do when like you get knocked in the head with some bad news or someone passes away and you lose yourself for a minute and you gain back 5 to 10 pounds? What are you going to do then? Are you going to keep going and keep eating your way into like hell and telling yourself all these negative things? Or are you going to understand that you are the one constant, you are the anchor of your life? The way that you feel and the way that you think about yourself, that is the one constant. And you're going to have many different versions of your body. And I'm not saying that because you have that, it's like, oh, well, I look in the mirror and I just love everything I see. This is so much more complicated than that. And that's not what this is about. This is about you understanding that you have one body to live in, you have one life to live, and you're either going to live it waiting for the weight and letting the weight dictate every little thing about your life, and let the weight hold you hostage to your happiness and telling yourself that you don't deserve things and you can't have nice things and you don't deserve to go places and you don't deserve this and that because you don't weigh whatever your goal weight number is in your head. Or you can say, you know what? I may not be at my goal weight right now. I'm working towards it. Maybe I'm not working towards it. But either way, I may not be in the perfect body. I may not be at my goal weight. But you know what? Regardless of what I weigh and regardless of what I look like, this is me. This is who I am right here in this moment. And I'm going to embrace it. And I'm going to like love the shit out of myself. And I'm going to do nice things for me. I'm going to treat myself with respect. I'm going to think nice things about myself. I'm going to take better care of myself. And I'm going to stop shit-talking myself and having the inner fat bitch dialogue all the time. Because I deserve better. And you embrace the journey. You embrace who you are, what you look like in this moment right now. Because I don't know what other moments you have other than what is happening right here, right now. And hating yourself, having inner fat bitch fights with yourself, sitting around having guilt and shame pity parties with yourself, none of that stuff is doing you any favors at the moment. Because if it was, you'd be the happiest little shiny, magical, sparkly ass unicorn right now if any of that stuff was doing anything for you, and it's not. And it's like getting out of your own way and recognizing that hating yourself, calling yourself names, treating yourself like a piece of crap is not the key to getting to your goal weight. It's not the key to becoming confident. It's not the key to like finally living the life that you wish you could live. How are you going to get there by hating yourself? Please explain that to me. And when you think about it and when you hear other people like me saying this out loud, it's like, oh yeah, that's true. Never thought of it that way. Because it's just been drilled into your heads by society, by all of the diet culture and all the other crap that's out here, that the only way to get what you want is to be skinny, and the only way to get skinny is to do it by out of pure disgust for where you're at. And that if you dare to love yourself, if you dare to dress cute, if you dare to like take pride in yourself at your high weight, it's like, who do you think you are, lady? Like, that's the mentality, that's the messaging that's been pushed out to all of us. And it's time for you to break that. It's time for you to break it, and it's time for you to realize this is the only chance you've got. You've got one chance at life. You've got one chance to live life in the body that you have. And if you don't like the body that you're in, you also have the opportunity and the choice to make changes. But what you don't get to do is you don't get to decide that you're going to, like, hold yourself hostage waiting for the weight. If you don't like the way you look, if you don't like the weight that you're at, if you feel miserable in your own skin because of your weight, then you need to make a decision that it's time to take better care of yourself. And it's also, and when I say take better care of yourself, I'm not just talking about losing weight. I'm also talking about that you also need to make the decision that it's time to treat yourself better in the way that you think, in the way that you talk to yourself, in the way that you take care of yourself, both physically and emotionally. Both of those things matter. But what you don't get to do is you don't get to, like, lock yourself in the house, put yourself on lockdown until the weight comes off, and, like, hide from the world, hide from yourself, hide from your dreams. Because, again, you could get to your goal weight, and then you're still going to have stuff you don't like about yourself. Because hello, loose skin. Hello, wrinkles. Hello, aging. All these beautiful things that get to happen. And so what happens when you do get to your goal weight? After you've locked yourself in the house for however many months or years that it takes, and you hide out from everybody, you hide out from your dreams, you hide out from all the things that you fantasize about doing and having, because you think you are only worthy of it when you weigh whatever your goal weight number is in your mind, or you look a certain way, or you wear a certain size, and then you get there and it's like, well, this isn't what I thought it was. Because you still hate yourself. You still don't like who you are underneath. And who you are underneath all the fat, who you are underneath all the pounds, is the same person. That's what you don't understand yet. You don't understand the fact that you are the same person in the same body, with the pounds or without the pounds. You're just in different versions of that body. And whether you're right now in the fat version that you don't like physically, or whether you're in the version right now of your goal weight and you still don't like yourself, it's because you haven't done this work that I'm talking about. You haven't done the work on the emotional weight. You haven't done the work to actually learn how to love and respect and treat yourself with some kind of dignity. Because you're basing all of your self-worth on your physical, what you look like. And that's never going to be enough. That is never going to be enough, because you're going to be in different versions of that body. And if you get to your goal weight and you're still young and you still don't have wrinkles and you've still got good hair textures and all this kind of stuff, what happens in 10 years? What happens in 10 years? Let's say you maintain that weight, but in 10 years, girl, your hair's turning gray and you're getting wrinkles and you don't like what's happening. Nobody likes to age. But there's a big difference in you basing everything about yourself and, like, your self-worth and what you deserve to have in life and your happiness on your physical traits, versus knowing that your anchor, you have like the most solid foundation internally in terms of what you think, what you say to yourself, and how you feel about yourself. And you may not like the process. You may not like the process of aging. I don't like it. I don't know anybody that likes it. But you know what? It's having the tools in your back pocket to realize, like, okay, this is happening, but you know what? It doesn't change me. It's not going to change me believing what I deserve to have. It's not going to change me going after my goals and, like, pushing through with what I want in life. It's not going to change me accepting bullshit behavior from other people. Because I have a wrinkle, I'm going to let people talk shit to me. Hell no. But if you haven't done the work, you don't have that empowered thing inside of you to be able to do that. And so understand that Again, I'm going to keep saying it. You have one body, but you have many different versions of that body, and those different versions of that body are not just about weight. Your body is going to change physically. And here's the deal. If you keep holding yourself to this unrealistic standard of, I can only be happy, I am only worthy of good things, I am only worthy of good relationships, I can't ask for what I want unless I weigh blah, blah, blah. If that is the standard that you are holding yourself to, I want to let you know, and I want you to hear this, you will never, ever be happy or at peace with yourself and with your life. Ever. Take that to the bank. You will never be happy and you will never be at peace so long as you keep holding yourself to this unrealistic expectation that you are only worthy at XYZ number. And again, the reason for that too, we cannot base our happiness, we cannot base our self-worth on our physical body, because that will fade, that will change. And the thing is, when you're on a weight loss journey and you're overweight or you're obese, it's hard to think that, well, no, if I just lost the weight, of course I would be happy. Yes, girl, let's recognize, like, yeah, weight loss is great. Weight loss will make you feel amazing. If it is like, you need to get that weight off, you're going to feel so much better. Physically, you're going to be able to do things. You're going to be able to, like, just slide them jeans on. You're going to be able to do all kinds of great things that when you are overweight and obese, you're not able to do. But where it gets dangerous is when you think that that's all you have to do is get the weight off. Because you got obese and you got overweight not just because you like to eat. There's like a small percentage of people that's the case. But if you're listening to this podcast, I am 99% sure that's not why you've gained the weight. Because weight is a symptom of something else. Weight is a symptom of the bullshit that you don't want to deal with when it comes to your feelings and when it comes to you. The weight is a symptom of you not coming face to face and dealing with how you actually feel. The weight is a symptom of things that you just don't want to address. And until you address it, until you actually realize that there's emotional weight that's causing you to gain physical weight, all the weight loss in the world is not going to work. And if you do lose the weight, you're still left with all the emotional weight that you haven't dealt with. So then it's, again, like I said earlier, it's focusing in on all the other things about yourself that you don't like. And it's like you keep moving the goalpost every time you get to a certain goal because it's never going to be good enough for you. It's never, ever, ever going to be good enough for you until you do this work internally, until you realize that you are worth more than a number on the scale. So we have to stop waiting for the weight as if it's going to unlock this like little fairy door at the bottom of the, like this little fairy door on my wall that's going to like open up some magic dimension of life. You have the ability to feel that way now. You have the ability to feel happy now. You have the choice to live life now. You have the choice to accept who you are as a person right now. And you deserve that. Because again, if you don't do it now, on the way down, you're still going to be left with all of that when the weight is off of you. The weight right now is just the wet blanket. I talk about the wet blanket of misery all the time. Your weight is your wet blanket. Your weight is the wet blanket of I don't want to deal with this because it's uncomfortable, but it's like tolerable. I'll tolerate feeling like this because I don't deserve anything better. And I want you to understand that there's like so much more out there waiting for you. There's so much more to life than just existing and like going through the motions every single day. And I want you to just stop apologizing for who you are. Stop hiding. Stop being afraid to be seen. Stop playing small because you don't want people to see you. because they see you. They see you now. Hello. And do you want them to see you now hunched over and miserable and like zero self-esteem, zero self-worth? Or if people are going to see you, then let them freaking see all of you right here, right now. And you know what? They're going to judge you. They're already judging you. And so if that's what you're afraid of, understand that people are already judging you. Why do you give a shit what other people think about you? That's their problem. It's not your problem. It's their problem. And I hope this is helping, and I hope it's resonating with you, and that you're understanding that who you are on the inside, how you think, how you feel about yourself, that is the anchor of your life. That is the anchor. The weight cannot be an anchor. It can't. Because it's going to keep changing. It's not going to hold you down. It's not going to keep you grounded in the things that are going to happen in your life, good, bad, and in between. And so it's time to start learning how to feel confident and to feel worthy, and not base that on, let me see what I weigh today, and look at a scale as just a scale, just a tool. It's just a tool. It's just a thing that tells you a number. It doesn't tell you what to think, what to feel, and how you should be in the world. And I know that's hard to break because I've been there. All of this begins with a decision. All of this begins when you make a decision that you are ready to transform. When you are ready, you don't know how, you don't need to know how. You just need to make the decision that you are done basing your life and your happiness on a number on the scale, and you're done looking for it with another yo-yo diet. You're done looking for it with another detox. You're done looking for it with all the sales and all the ads that are going to be popping in your feed the next couple of weeks with the new year, new you bullshit. Because again, all of those diets, all of those weight loss plans, they're not going to teach you how to love yourself. They're not going to teach you how to gain confidence. They're not going to teach you how to lose emotional weight. They're not going to teach you how to do that so that you keep the weight off. Because they don't want you to keep the weight off. They want you to keep going through the cycle. There is a method to the madness of diet culture. But when you lose the weight because you're doing it from a place of self-love and self-worth and confidence and losing the damn emotional weight, the weight's not coming back. And I finally have seen that. Like, I am down 70 pounds and I'm still losing weight. And that 70 pounds, it has not come back. And I still have my splurges. I still overeat. I still have my moments. But at the heart, at the anchor of my journey is that I know I deserve better. I know that I deserve to not lay my ass on the couch for 4 days in a row and shove food down my throat, because I deserve better than that. And the old version of me didn't know that. The old version of me laid on the couch in pajamas and throwing Hot Pockets and butter and bread and cake and all this other crap down my throat, completely blacked out, zoned out, zombie walking through the eating. And then be like, I don't know how I gained 100 pounds in 6 months. Not sure how that happened. Because I chose to zone it out, to black out. And all those diet plans are not going to teach you how to be self-aware. They're not going to teach you how to stop saying the fat, like the inner fat bitch dialogue that's going on. They're not teaching you how to break that. They don't want you to break that. They're not teaching you how to dress for the body you have now while you're on the journey. They don't teach you how to take pride in your appearance on the journey. They teach you that you don't deserve any of that until you're skinny. You don't deserve any of that till you're a size 6. And I teach you how to take pride in yourself, how to get your glam on. I don't care what size you are to do that. You should be doing that now. I don't care. You need to find clothes and things that make you feel good now, not just at your goal. And these traditional diets are not teaching you any of that. They're not teaching you how to live your life in the moment. They're teaching you that your life begins when you lose the weight. And I'm teaching you that your life is happening now and it's passing you by and you're wasting it away. And you're waiting for the weight. And that's a waste of time. They're not teaching you how to be a damn confidence queen. They're not teaching you any of that stuff. And so if you're done with the yo-yo diet, body hate, shame cycle, if you're done basing your life around a number on the scale, it's time to make a decision. It's time for you to just decide, like, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to make this transformation. And if you don't know how to do that, if you don't even know where to begin, because I know how scary it feels, then let me help you do that. This is what I do. Because you can't do it alone. Because let me tell you, if you could do it alone and you could will your way into it, you would have done it already. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast. You wouldn't be about to make your same tired-ass New Year's resolutions in 2 weeks like you always do. I'll just start January 1st. Already fucked up the whole year. I know that you're saying that. If you could do it on your own, you would have done it already. If you could do it with another yo-yo diet, you'd be skinny already. If you could do it with another bullshit detox or keto or whatever the hell else is going to be the fad of 2020, you would have done it already. And you haven't done it yet because you don't have the things that I'm talking to you about. You don't have the tools in your toolbox, in your back pocket, to show up and be self-aware and confident and be there for yourself. You don't have those tools yet, and it's okay. Because I didn't have them either. And now I know 110% that I can't not live. You cannot continue down the path that you're on without these things in your life. It just isn't possible. You can't will your way into happiness. You can't will your way into feeling good about yourself. You have to do the damn work. And you have to do the work with someone that can hold you accountable and can give you the support and the accountability that you need and the framework that you need to do it in. You have to have that or it's not going to work. Because again, you would have done it already. If the 3 a.m. infomercial for $99.99 was going to solve all of your problems, was going to solve the fact that you don't like yourself, was going to solve the fact that you are not happy with your life, it would have worked already. All of it would have worked already. But it hasn't. So what exactly do you think you need to do next? What is the next best step for you? What is that? And I get so passionate and revved up about what I'm talking about because I live this. I am not bullshitting you. I am not blowing smoke. I am not trying to just make sales with what I do. I do this because it was why I was put on this earth. This is my purpose, and this is my passion, and this is why I have been through all of the things that I've been through, all of the bullying, all of the name calling, all of the bullshit that I've been through with my weight. Is to be able to show up for other women just like you, to let you know there is another way out. And that the ways that you've been doing things, it's not your fault, but it just doesn't work. And so if you're ready to make the next move, if you're ready to try something different, I encourage you to enroll in the Irresistible You program. If you have questions, if you are nervous, if you are scared, if you are hesitant, that is all normal. Message me. Message me. Ask me those questions. Let me know what those questions are. Let's have a discussion inside of the Facebook group about it. Because I don't want you going into 2020. I don't want you going into a new decade and a new year still trying to figure all of this out. Are you really about to spend the next 10 years on the same bullshit cycle? Are you? Like, I don't want that for you. Because I know that it can stop. But it can only stop when you make the decision to stop it and when you're ready to stop it. You don't need to know the how. You just need to be ready. All right, guys. Let's keep this going in the free podcast discussion group over on Facebook. The link is inside the show notes. Please, if this helped you in any way or the podcast is helping you, I would love for you to go into iTunes, leave a rating and review. It takes less than a minute and it helps me so much. It helps build our community. It helps other women that are sitting there struggling in the same ways that you are find the voices, find the community that they need to know that they're not alone. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate all of you and all of your support, and I will catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay irresistible.